Hey everybody, I'm back and I'm here to do my 12 French books on my TBR this year, 2025. So this is a project that I've been doing with my friend Anna. We're both Francophiles, and we did a project together reading the Rougon-Macquart series by Émile Zola, which is actually 20 books in the series. And we read that series over 2 years and 3 months. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we got very quickly into the idea of enjoying the storytelling of Émile Zola, the characters, the whole thing. It was just very emotional, but it was just like, it is a feast for our bibliophile. If you haven't got a chance to read the Rougon-Macquart series, I highly recommend it. You don't have to read all 20 books. You can pick and choose the books you want to read. You can read them out of order, per se. Anna and I read it in the order of the publication of the books, but you can also read it in the order of the families. That is what we started with reading together. So we have decided to read a book a month in French regularly. So let's get started with the 12 books. So I will be showing them in French, the French book that I have, and I'll give you the title in English in case you don't know it. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my iPad, getting the information to give to you on like a little something about what the particular novel is about. So the first book we are reading is this one right here, which you can see I'm currently reading it, and I don't have very much left to read. This is Bel-Ami by Maupassant. Now, I know Maupassant's work, his short story works. I don't really know the novel. So this is the first novel I've read by him. So let me just give you an idea of what this one is about. So in English, it's called Bel-Ami as well. And it says, Guy de Maupassant's scandalous tale of an opportunistic young man corrupted by the allure of power. Young, attractive, and very ambitious Georges Duroy, known to his admirers as Bel-Ami, is offered a job as a journalist on La Vie Française and soon makes a great success of his new career. But he also comes face to face with the realities of the corrupt society in which he lives, the sleazy colleagues, the manipulative mistresses, and wily financiers, and swiftly learns to become an arch seducer, blackmailer, and social climber in a world where love is only a means to an end. So that kind of gives you an idea what it's about. I'll be talking about this one in my wrap up at the end of the month, Bel-Ami. Okay, the next book on my list is this one right here, which is Notre-Dame de Paris by Victor Hugo. Now, this is called The Hunchback of Notre-Dame in English. This is a book that I have been dying to read for a very long time. I had the pleasure of reading Les Miserables last year, which was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to digging into this big boy. Okay, it looks pretty chunky and big. It's about 700 pages, I think, but I'm really excited to get to this one. The extraordinary historical French Gothic novel set in medieval Paris under the twin towers of its greatest structure and supreme symbol, the Cathedral of Notre-Dame, is the haunting drama of Quasimodo, the disabled bell ringer of Notre-Dame, as he struggles to stand up to his albiest guardian, Claude Frollo, who also wants to commit genocide against Paris's Romani population. Okay, I can see it now. I can see Victor. He's going to be coming, dropping the gems. I know what he's going to do. This is going to be good. The next book on my list is this one right here, which is Petit Pays by Gaël Faye. And this one was a Prix Goncourt des Lycéens winner when it came out. So this one is called in English, Small Country. I'm really excited about reading this one because I should have read this one years ago and I'm just getting to it now. So it says, in 1992, Gabriel, 10 years old, lives in Burundi in a comfortable expatriate neighborhood with his French father, his Rwandan mother, and his little sister, Anna. In this joyful idyll, Gabriel spends the better part of his time with his mischievous band of friends. In a tiny cul-de-sac, they have turned into their kingdom. But their peaceful existence will suddenly shatter when this small African country is brutally battered by history. So I'm really excited about this one. It's a very slim novel, but I've heard it's very powerful. Okay, the next book I have is Le Père Goriot, and this is by Honoré de Balzac. This is another one that I've been wanting to read. There's a few Honoré de Balzac that I want to read. He wrote a lot of books. I don't want to read them all, but this is one of the ones I've been wanting to get to. So, what is that one about? So it says, Monsieur Goriot is one of a select group of lodgers at Madame Voncair's Parisian boarding house. At first, his wealth inspires respect, but as his circumstances are reduced, he is shunned by those around him. And soon his only remaining visitors are two beautiful, mysterious young women. Goriot claims that they are his daughters. But his fellow boarders, including master criminal Vautrin, have other ideas. And when Eugène Rastignac, a poor but ambitious law student, learns the truth, he decides to turn it to his advantage. Old Goriot is one of the key novels of Balzac's Comédie Humaine series, and a compelling examination of two obsessions, love and money. Witty and brilliantly detailed, it is a superb study of the bourgeoisie in the years following the French Revolution. So we are all in on that one. I think we're going to enjoy this one a lot. This next one has also been on my list for a long time, and this is Le Rouge et le Noir by Stendhal. So, yeah, this one's quite the chunker as well. We gonna make it work. So this one, it says, handsome, ambitious Julien Sorel is determined to rise above his humble provincial origins, soon realizing that success can only be achieved by adopting the subtle code of hypocrisy by which society operates. He begins to achieve advancement through deceit and self-interest. His triumph career takes him into the heart of glamorous Parisian society, along the way conquering the gentle, married Madame de Rênal and the haughty Mathilde. But when Julien commits an unexpected, devastating crime and brings about his own downfall. Okay, so the next novel we have on our list is a Zola novel. This is Thérèse Raquin. This is another one. I meant to read this one years ago when I first came to France, but never got to reading this book. This one is one that has been, talked about as pretty popular. So it's called the same, Thérèse Raquin. So it says, set in the claustrophobic atmosphere of a dingy haberdasher's shop in the passage du Pont Neuf in Paris, this powerful novel tells how the heroine and her lover, Laurent, kill her husband, Camille, but are subsequently haunted by visions of the dead man and prevented from enjoying the fruits of their crime. Oh, yeah, that sounds like Zola, okay? So we're excited about this one. Next on the list, we have this one right here, which is Madame Bovary by Flaubert. Now, I read this one years ago. I want to say I must have read this one maybe in the first 5 or 6 years I had been living in France. And I haven't read it since. So Anna hasn't read it, but I have. So I said, no, it's been a long time. I need to reread it to see if I really feel the same way about it. And I mean, this is the same copy that I read the first time. Notice there's no tabs or anything. So I'm not sure what, why that is. Maybe it wasn't tabbing at the time. I don't know. But I'm excited to get back to this one to see if I like it, if I still like this one, because I'm not sure. So it says, Emma Bovary is beautiful and bored, trapped in her marriage to a mediocre doctor and stifled by the banality of provincial life. An ardent devourer of sentimental novels, she longs for passion and seeks escape and fantasies of high romance and voracious spending and eventually in adultery. But even the affairs bring her disappointment, and when real life continues to fail to live up to her romantic expectations, the consequences are devastating. So yeah, okay. Okay, the next book on our list is L'Elegance du Hérisson. And this is by Muriel Barbary, and it has a similar name in English. It's called The Elegance of the Hedgehog. So it says, we are in the center of Paris, an elegant apartment building inhabited by bourgeois families. Renée, the concierge, is witness to the lavish but vacuous lives of her numerous employers. Outwardly, she conforms to every stereotype of the concierge: fat, cantankerous, addicted to television. Yet, unbeknownst to her employers, Renée is a cultured autodidact who adores art, philosophy, music, and Japanese culture. With humor and intelligence, she scrutinizes the lives of the building's tenants, who, for their part, are barely aware of her existence. So, yeah. And this one has been made into a French movie, if you're interested. The next book on our list is this one right here, Une Gourmandise by Muriel Barbary. So this one, I think it's called, I can't remember. I think it's called a Gourmet Rhapsody, I think is the English title for this one. So it says, in the heart of Paris, in the posh building made famous in the elegance of the hedgehog, Père Athens, the greatest food critic in the world, is dying. Revered by some and reviled by many, Monsieur Raquin has been lording it over the world's most esteemed chefs for years, passing judgment on their creations, deciding their fates with a stroke of his pen, destroying and building reputations on a whim. But now, during his final hours, his mind has turned to simpler things. He is desperately searching for that singular flavor, that sublime something once sampled, never forgotten, the flavor par excellence. Indeed, this flamboyant and self-absorbed man desires only one thing before he dies: one last taste. So, yeah. Okay, the next book we have on our list is this one right here, which is called Nouvelle Rose, and this is also by Émile Zola. Now, this one, unfortunately, has not been translated into English. I couldn't find it, so I guess because it's not a major work by him, it hasn't been translated yet. But this is a collection of short stories. They turn around love, relationships, class, wealth, that kind of thing. So I expect this to be a really good in-depth look again at society and how society shapes man, which is what he often would write about. So that's Nouvelle Rose. The next book on our list is this one right here, Biographie de la Femme. And this is by the famous Amélie Nothomb. And the book in English is called The Life of Hunger. So this one, it says, the daughter of a Belgian diplomat, Amel had an internat childhood ranging from Tokyo to Peking and Paris to New York by way of Bangladesh, recounting these formative journeys right up to her return to Japan in 1989 and the Kobe earthquake. The Life of Hunger is an extraordinary examination of the self and perhaps Amélie's most mature and moving work to date. So that, Biographie de la Femme. And last but not least, we have Passion Simple by Annie Ernaux. And this in English, of course, is called Simple Passion. It's probably going to be the shortest book I read this year. It's only 77 pages. It says, in her spare, stark style, Annie Ernaux documents the desires and indignities of a human heart ensnared in an all-consuming passion. Blurring the line between fact and fiction, an unnamed narrator attempts to plot the emotional and physical course of her 2-year relationship with a married foreigner, where every word, event, and person either provides a connection with her beloved or is subject to her cold indifference. With courage and exaltitude, she seeks the truth behind an existence lived entirely for someone else, and in the pieces of its aftermath, she is able to find it. So this will be my first Annie Ernaux. She's been a writer that has always been on my list to read, but have never done it. So this will be my first one. I'm pretty excited about this. So those are all the books that Anna and I will be reading this year in French. So if you want to read along with us, you can. Like I said, right now we are about to finish up Bel-Ami by Guy de Maupassant. And next month is February. We will be reading Petit Pays by Gaël of Faye. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And I'll be back very soon with another video. Bye.